short, bald, and angry.
What's the deal with this instrument, man? It's an old classic Casio
This is a
thing.
Casio HT700. Here's the manual. I've been going through it. It's pretty sick, actually. You can program your own bass lines on this thing. You can program your own drums.
What up, man?
Yo, what's up? It's Lrkr here in my studio, and I'm going to play a few songs for you to go along with Cinco's podcast that we recorded. When did we record that?
I forget. I think it was like September, November. I think it was November last year.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm going to play a couple songs for the podcast, and
you were showing me the set list that you had here. You're going to show me that first, right?
Yeah. So this is my handy-dandy set list that I made just to remember where everything is technically on my synthesizers and drum machines. So this thing actually corresponds to this bass synthesizer up here by Novation.
Can you demonstrate that?
Yeah, if you notice, the colors are pink here, pink down here, purple here, and then also corresponding beats per minute, which I dial in over here on the TR8, and then I know that it's pattern 1A. So we can play the first song by clicking over here, clicking pattern 1A, and then I just know the patch that I use on this synth thing here. I just know it. So and then I just hit. Then I bring down all my sliders, and just start real low and just build a track. So I'll play Snuck now, the first one.
Snuck?
Yeah, it's called Snuck. It's on Spotify. It sounds a lot different than the recording, but I had to adapt a different way to play it live. So yeah, here it is.
Nice. Oh, can you turn the monitors on?
Yeah, you can get the monitors on for sure. that's Snuck. I usually transition to another track after this. Yeah, I can transition to it.
Hiding time?
Yeah, that's hiding time.
Nice. What's with the name? Any explanation?
Hiding time, it has to do with, like... well, when my brother told... I don't know. It has to do with, like, not knowing where your time went, I guess. Like, you're hiding time. I have no idea. I don't know.
I'll just cut that.
Yeah, you can cut that. No, there is something. So my brother, when he heard it, he was like, oh, he thought it was hiding time, like time to hide.
Okay.
Which I kind of like better. Like, oh, it's time to hide. But it's like, it's more like I put a lot of work into something and then you don't really know like where it went. And then it like turned into some very wacky song. So like this particular song, I made it on this synthesizer right here, actually. And I went through each individual step of the sequencer, you know, changing each note, making it like a sharp or a flat, just little changes here and there. And then it turned into that wacky sequence. And then I had to like figure out what each individual note was and then transfer that to this bass machine here. And you can see all the notes right here playing. The individual notes. Mostly octaves, but yeah, I mean. Some of them are lower.
It's kind of hard to see. The camera picks it up where they're all vibrating, but you can kind of see it. It's moving around.
Pretty dope, though. Yeah, so
You see everything looks way crazy around here. All that's going nuts.
yeah.
It's all crazy looking, but it's actually... But you can kind of see it. Let's do it, man. You want to do one more?
Yeah. Okay, here's Evolve.
Your hair's messed up.
My hair's fucked?
Thrash it.
Dude, this needs some reverb or something. I usually have reverb.
Sure, man. Take your time. Yeah, I'm on your way.
It's okay. I can figure it out. was Evolve.
Evolve?
Yeah. Yeah, I fucked it up a little bit, but it's okay.
You want to just leave it as is?
Yeah, it's fine. You guys, I mean,
There's
take it or leave
a lot
it.
of fancy finger work in there.
There's some fancy finger work, and to be honest with you, my hands start to get tired, and I gotta work on it. So, but it's cool.
So what we heard. What was the first song?
Snuck. First song is Snuck.
Snuck.
That's released.
Hiding Time.
Hiding Time is also out. That came out a couple years ago.
And
Evolve.
All available on Spotify?
They're all available on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, vinyl, my website, everywhere you can find music.
What's the name of the vinyl album again?
Getting Along. The vinyl album is called Getting Along, and it's on blue vinyl, 150 gram, featuring art by John O'Neill.
Nice, man. Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Dude, thanks for having me. Wow, do you want me to say that? Yo, thanks for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Did you already? It's still going, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, man, thanks for having me on the podcast.
You're always welcome back. Thanks,
Ian.
Peace, brother.
Stay short, bald, and angry.
I will. All right.
Bye. Signed the contract, so.
Yeah, the contracts are signed.
No going back.
Signed in blood.
Am I close enough to the mic?
That's all right. If you don't mind, get a little closer.
Yeah.
But yo, man, Alex, how you doing, man?
What's up? I'm doing great.
Also known as Lrkr, Lrkr.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at a man who used to live in the very room that I'm living in now.
Yes, sir. With Jeff, the dinosaur.
Is that what we call him? I forgot that we call him Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Reptarium.
Yeah. The Trout Mansion, the Reptarium.
Trout Mansion, Reptarium.
Yeah.
Jeff's lair.
Definitely has a treehouse vibe.
Definitely.
You know the artist Richard Serra?
No, I don't. I'm not very.
He's
cultured.
got these huge metallic sculptures that kind of like curve, and you walk through them, and it's a lot like this hallway. Several people have commented on it. You feel like you're walking through a
exhibition up at
Storm King.
No, yeah, I was thinking Beacon.
Beacon. That's what I meant. He's at Dia Beacon. Yeah.
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 I saw it once, but I at the time didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate him.
Yeah.
His work.
Contemporary art's funny like that. I mean, I probably know more than you, but I don't know that much more than you, and I haven't like as much as I know about art history. I kind of dropped off after like I don't know post-impressionism, which is like Van Gogh's time.
Yeah,
like,
I do like impressionism, like the blotted, blotted flowers.
Yeah.
Such.
Yeah, that was like my favorite
Impressionists.
time. It was like there was the realists, the impressionists, and the post-impressionists, and that was just like I think one of the most beautiful times in art. And then it just got not that then Duchamp was pretty cool, but then we get to now and it's super like just muddled and confusing and intellectual and I don't know.
It is. Most of the art that I really like is what I can see all around me, like the street art in Brooklyn. As,
Right.
As cliche or, common as it's become, it's still amazing to look at.
It's awesome that's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, life is so much better with street art.
Sweet. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And I think, abandoned buildings lit up with color are a much better addition to society.
Yeah, and I know that the graffiti of like the 80s and 90s that would turn off a lot of like the older generation, but like
Totally. Yeah, like the Brooklyn window theory.
I mean, I don't hate that look, but we're not even talking about that look because the art on the streets now is really not graffiti.
Right. It's not
street
tags.
art. Yeah.
It's not tags. Like
it's legally done.
It's legally done, and it looks nice. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not just someone trying to, put their gang name or their own name
Yeah.
on some window.
But you're you're not a visual artist. You're a musician.
No, I don't even know how we got off on.
Yeah.
that.
We started off on. Well, I go everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm a
which is
visual
great.
artist. Yeah.
I wish I was a visual artist. I
Really?
definitely. Well, yeah. I mean, I doodled in meetings all the time. Like, oh man, I wish I was doing something. But that might have been more me trying to do something creative when I was stuck in a meeting room.
I think that's
So
where it
many-
starts. It's definitely like one of the biggest ways I became an artist, just being in classes that, even if they were good, I would just be doodling. If they were not good, then I was definitely doodling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like drawing characters or drawing lines and abstract things. Nothing. I can't. It's hard for me to draw reality because I don't draw what I see. I draw what I know, which I think that problem that people have oftentimes. Like you think a horse, you think of a horse abstractly, and I can't transfer that to paper.
That's interesting. I don't know exactly what you mean.
Well,
I'd be curious to do a little experiment and see.
Well, I took an art class. I took 2 art classes when I was studying in Chile, and he kept saying maybe it was lost in translation, but he's like, "You're drawing what you think a horse is."
He wanted you to observe more.
Like, just look at a horse and don't look at the paper. He's like, no te mire el papel, no te mire el papel. Like,
yeah,
just look at the subject.
Yeah.
Without thinking about what you're doing. Anyway, so yeah, I wish I could draw. I use Photoshop to make all my album covers and things like that.
Yeah, you are making your own art.
Yeah, it's the photography that I've taken over the years, and there's no real rhyme or reason to why I select a photograph for a song.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is a rhyme or reason, it's a very, very loose connection that I just make up.
That's usually the best way to go. I mean, if you're literal is always kind of looked down upon, I feel like. I have a lot of literal interpretations in music videos I've made, and I think it even sometimes even I'm like, oh damn, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can get corny.
Yeah. So tell us a little. Do a quick introduction. You are Lrkr. You are a musician. You composed. Tell me. Give me your pitch of who you are.
Yeah. Are you editing this, or is this
no? Don't say anything you don't want to say.
Okay.
Or don't throw anyone on the bus.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking if I speak too long, are you going to be able to cut anything out?
No, if you speak too long, we're leaving it in.
Okay. Cool. Well, that happens a lot. So, yeah, I guess I'll give myself an intro.
Yeah.
My name's Alex, and I've been making music since 8th grade. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Went to, how much should I reveal about myself? That's what I want.
I was thinking more just the music. Let's just start with how you got to Lrkr.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I started making music in high school.
Yeah.
Just as a hobby, I was playing the drums, and then I got this program called Reason by Propeller Heads. Reason 4, that was the version. I think they're up to 8 or 10 now. I don't know. And because I was doing a project for school, so I just was messing around with that program, making some beats, whatever, and then I continued that into college. In addition to studying, I would DJ at night. Not my own stuff. I wouldn't DJ my own music at that time. I would just play house music or whatever was popular at the time. But continued to make music. I made Chilean Sunset and Journey and the Way Too Long EP all in college in 2013, but I never released it until 2015 because I was starting to just get more focus, I guess. I don't really know. I mean, it started.
You said 2013 you made it, or
I made that music in 2012, 2013.
And then it took a couple of years.
And then it took a couple of years for me to get the confidence to say, okay, I should release this and see what happens.
Yeah. Do you find that now that you've released that it's easier and quicker for you to, not easier, I know things never get easier, but do you find that you're able to put things out quicker at least?
I think it is a little bit easier to put things out because, not that I want to put out bad music, but I'm more willing to take risks about what I put out and try not to get stuck on getting everything so perfect.
Yeah.
Journey, I probably could have released it as it was in 2013, and most people wouldn't tell the difference.
Nobody would know.
No, there are, snaps in certain parts, or a ratchet sound, or some hi-hats, or a kick drops out, or tiny things that I changed.
Yeah.
In those 2 years before finally releasing it.
you didn't come to any major epiphany in terms of mixing and mastering and
Well-
recording and doing wild audio engineering?
I did not. I mean,
Not in those
I guess
2
like
years.
yeah, changing the levels every now and then, like making sure it's perfect, listening
Yeah.
to it in cars, listening to it in like shitty headphones, listening to it in good speakers, like all the things you need to do. But and then I did some reversing and changes to like the trumpet part that
Reversing,
that
like
was
playing it in
important.
reverse.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
pressing the reverse button and chopping it up and
Yeah.
just extending the chorus a little bit longer because
Yeah.
I really like the beat. It's one of the best beats that I've ever made. Like if you take out everything, and I could probably give if you wanted to like sample it, you could put it in the show or something.
I totally forgot to tell you that I'm doing like a live portion, and you can come back and do it if you want.
Yeah.
I can shoot you doing it live too if
Yeah.
you want. 'Cause
Okay.
that's kind of,
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
if you prefer that. I
Yeah, I
prefer
mean, I
that.
wasn't gonna be able to bring all the stuff needed, but we could even shoot it in my studio if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm down.
but anyway, yeah, I didn't have that many. Yeah, any epiphanies about.
I think there's a valuable lesson in that because, I'm pretty deep in just putting myself out there now. But there was a time where I hadn't really put anything out, and I was kind of the guy who was doing that. I wouldn't even call it perfecting things. It's like you're just kind of like sitting on things sometimes, and letting time go by when it's basically ready to be put out. And a lot of people fall into that trap, and then just years are going by, and they end up getting pretty old, and nothing comes out. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just important to start putting it out, and then do the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing.
Right. You
Yeah.
can always make another song.
Yeah. Yeah, with music, it's like remixes are a thing, so you can
Yeah.
call it a remix.
Well, you can call it a remix, but also just leaving the idea entirely and going to something else is a lot more refreshing.
Yeah.
Changing the keys or changing the tempo. I often find myself just going from one song to the next frequently, within
Like in
the
one
same
session?
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, for instance, I started with something I was working on yesterday, and then went back to something I was working on a couple days ago, went back to a collaboration with someone. And sometimes I'll even go back. I mean, I have a long list of stuff from 2013 that never made it, or from 2015 that never made it to the second album or EP. I have like dozens of just little ideas.
Nice.
And some of them are 10% finished. Some of them are 80% finished.
Yeah.
So it's always just good to have something that you can go back to. And as long as this is my full-time gig, then I always have material to go back to and
Yeah.
mess around with.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I've just been building it over. I mean, you have so much art too. Like
Yeah.
the constant compilation of all of it, I think, is worth it because at the end you'll have this huge cache of
Yeah.
content.
Yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle going back and forth between the creative side and the sort of like curation side. It's like one doesn't. They don't. I mean, they can happen at the same time. But for me, it's kind of like I'm either making a thing, or I'm creating the art, or I'm compiling it. It's one
Yeah.
or the other. I have to choose, and
Yeah,
it's
you don't
hard.
have to share you don't have to share everything. you
Yeah.
make. So sometimes you don't compile it, and then it just gets lost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But with the music, I mean, if you have that, we were talking outside. You would consider you're always down to produce other artists and work with other artists. Right
Yeah.
now, you are a one-man band. You're a solo
Yes.
operation.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what would be your preferred way of collaborating? Would you prefer to just be called the producer? Would you prefer it to be like a Lrkr featuring, or featuring Lrkr type of a situation, or all of it?
Well, there's a couple of different ways I've thought about it. One would be to write music for a song that I think would sound good and say, okay, like I need to get a trumpet player
Yeah.
to play this because I don't know how to play the trumpet. And you would pay that person for their services.
Yeah.
They would play the music, and then I would just produce it on my own, and I'd be working.
You
on
haven't
it.
done any of that?
I have in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not very much. Like in high school, the girl who played the trumpet in Journeys, her name's Claire Lorenzo. She is just a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So we were just like hanging out in my apartment, and she recorded that in my apartment.
Yeah.
Like not a like probably with a terrible mic too.
Sounds fine.
But it sounds good with everything else around it.
If you heard it isolated, not so good.
Yeah, it's not so good isolated, but it's kind of got that like lo-fi sound that
Yeah.
people have been telling me they like.
Yeah.
So, but I have a couple of friends that I want to, like collaborate with them
Yeah.
same way, but this time do it, for real, like professionally, and do it like legit.
Nice.
Because yeah, I mean, I think musicians need to be compensated for
Yeah.
what they're doing. But there's the other side, not just paying someone to play, where you have someone come in and you have a collaboration, and I've learned that it's best not to try to steer something in one direction, like that you want, and you should always be willing to like second guess what you want for the sake of like what the other person wants, and then that way you're not clashing. Like definitely believe
It's tricky.
Definitely believe in your ideas, but
yeah.
like you can't force a direction in a song, otherwise people
Right.
get angry, especially like if you're hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it's not just people starting out like young people who are like put off by it. Like even that's what pulled the Beatles apart, right? They were all pissed off because Paul became sort of maniacal with his controlling habits, and
Yeah.
that's
you
a
can't-
thing.
Yeah, you can't be. No one likes a control freak, and
Yeah.
I can be a control freak about
Yeah.
that. I'm pretty self-aware about that.
Yeah.
So that might be one of the reasons that I haven't been collaborating. But on the flip side, I don't really think I should run away from it, because once you do collaborate with someone, it's super rewarding.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can strike a balance too, where like you're controlling things that they're doing for you, and then you're doing things together, and you're doing sort of things for them, and it kind of balances out.
Yeah.
So it's like they give one for you, one for them, right?
Yeah.
That type of mentality.
Well, it's good to just know your strengths, and if you know something absolutely, then stick with it. But if you don't know something absolutely, like
Yeah.
if there's something related to, is it in key or not, or like should you play a seventh chord or just a simple triad or whatever. I don't really even know that much crazy musical theory, but any opinion about the sound is not absolute. I
Yeah,
guess, I'm
yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty open to that. I can make the same analogy with what I'm doing. I definitely I have been very controlling, and I'm not so controlling right now. I'm super open to ideas, and I'm definitely just kind of like floating around trying new things, not trying to impose my. I will come back to being more controlling again in the future.
Yeah.
But
Well, you have to be organized somehow.
yeah.
Well, maybe that doesn't. Maybe.
Organization's one thing, but like if you have like an idea, you probably have a good idea of how to do it too, if you really focus on it,
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. It's just dangerous because you do, like, we are in a collaborative medium. We work in collaborative mediums, and you got to keep everybody kind of happy and motivated too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I wrote down that this is your description: an ambient electronic music producer, right? Inspired by hip hop, world music, and often ignored sounds from everyday objects.
Yeah.
And a drummer at heart. You're laughing?
Yeah. Well, so my coworker wrote that bio for me.
Oh yeah.
She's a
That's cool.
publicist, so I asked for her help.
It's good.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I started with drums in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Well, I started with piano in 5th grade. My mom taught me how to play Fur Elise on the piano, and
What's that one?
Fur Elise by Beethoven.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And I like just kept playing it over and over again, and I learned it just by heart, but like also by movement. I broke it up into 3 different sections, and I could play it by like the rhythm of it. It was weird. It's hard to describe, but I can no longer play that song because I just didn't practice it enough, which happens with a lot of things.
Yeah.
But so learned that song, was fascinated with the piano, didn't like my piano teacher, so I quit, and then I moved to drums in 8th grade. What was I trying to just tell you? I was trying to say,
What were we talking about? I mean,
drummer at heart.
the drummer at heart
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, so I couldn't bring drums to college, brought my laptop, started making beats instead. I think a lot of producers are
Like
drummers.
a drum machine.
Yeah, well, like like an MPC 500, and
Okay.
then like I use my computer too. But
You said that's what a lot of drummers go through, or a lot of DJs go through. They start off as drummers, and then
I
they're
would
like,
say a lot of producers like or beat makers start off as drummers.
and they're just like, this setup is ridiculous. I can't make noise. It's too
I
big.
don't know if it's the same. It's mostly just because of the bass, like the rhythmic
Yeah,
like basis.
yeah. It's a natural
But-
transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the random like the everyday objects thing, like random everyday objects thing is like, on my song Toothbrush, I used a toothbrush and a lighter to make like the hi-hat sounds.
Nice, man.
The swish sounds. I've used like acoustic drums in certain things like ride cymbals.
I love it.
Like just very random things. I
Yeah.
don't know. Hitting a glass with like a drumstick.
I made a song once with it's like it starts off with just coins in a jar.
Yeah.
And then I was like, banging on things, and
Yeah.
and then it ends with like I'm on an old school flip phone going do 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 do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you make it like a loop machine or something?
No, I was just recording in GarageBand
Oh, sick.
and like that. Yeah. It got performed live on a stage once. There was this group called Thing New York, and they took over. I want to say like 100 submissions, and they performed like close to 100 original compositions in one night. It was kind of ridiculous.
Damn, and they played yours?
They butchered mine, but it was funny. It was more like an experiment, you know.
Yeah.
It was just like let's perform as many original compositions from, submitted by people as we possibly
But
can.
that's pretty hilarious. That
It was hilarious.
actually
Yeah,
relearned your song.
yeah.
What are the chords?
But that's cool, man. I love to hear that. I love to hear all kinds of, nothing against instruments. Instruments are cool, but it's just empowering to know you don't need an instrument. Really, you can make music with whatever you got around you.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yes, that's true.
Like
But I wouldn't say that that's the way to define.
technology,
I should probably rewrite my bio is what I'm saying because I'm not like. It's not the. That's
You don't
not
wanna be
what
defined by
defines my
that.
Music, yeah.
Yeah, I
My
don't know
music
if
is
it
more
does either.
defined by, like saw synths, just like.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call the genre that I fall into.
You don't think there is
Like
a genre?
downbeat or synth, downbeat synth,
Nah, downbeat.
down home electronic music is what I've been calling it because I'm from Missouri.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
I always forget you're from Missouri. I have cousins, aunt and uncle in St. Louis.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was born in Kansas City,
Yeah.
Candy City, as I used to call it.
So what's like a day in the life of Lrkr these days?
A day in the life of Lrkr.
Because I know you just
has
moved back.
changed. Yeah.
Or maybe before we go there, what was a day in the life a year ago when you were living in New Hampshire? Was it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
moved to New Hampshire last year in October.
Okay.
Yeah, moved up there, like rented a car, checked it out, came back, decided I was gonna move up there, rented a U-Haul, and like brought all my shit up, and just like set up a studio in one of the bedrooms that they weren't using. But basically, I lived in this old beach house that a family friend uses during the summertime, but it's not insulated, so you can't really use it in the wintertime.
Yeah.
But I did.
Yeah.
I just chopped wood and kept warm, like by the wood burning stove, and
Nice.
had a pretty big oil bill. But yeah, set up my studio there, and in between like staying warm, I would just work on songs, and I was trying to release one song per month. So I did that pretty successfully until I decided to move back to New York, because it was just like being up there was great, but harder to make music and like easy to get distracted, like be able to igloos when it was snowing, cross country ski out in the backyard.
You were more distracted up there?
Yeah, I was more distracted.
I figured you were less distracted up there.
Not really, because there were so many things to do, and there were chores like to keep the house
Right.
going.
Yeah, you were taking care of a house. Yeah.
Yeah, I was basically a housekeeper.
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, it's a big house. It's like 28 rooms.
Wow.
And half the house is shut off. But
Like, were you literally like dusting and cleaning everything too?
well, so just last week actually, I mowed the lawn and like to get ready for it to snow. You don't want it to be like super shaggy.
Yeah.
And then I weed whacked all of like the garden area and the plants, and I put all of that refuse in the backyard, like in the compost pit. Raked a bunch of leaves, blew some leaves. And yeah, I would vacuum all the time, like, because I'd be chopping wood and splinters would go everywhere. Yeah, dude, it was a totally different life. Like, I lived in New York for 8 years before moving up there.
Yeah. So how's it feel to be back, man? You psyched
It
about
feels
it?
great. I'm
Yeah.
psyched to be back. I finally have my own studio that I can go to every single day.
Yeah.
There are no distractions. Like,
Except for podcasts.
podcast, yeah, like this. But the cool thing is, I just walked a block and a half away.
Yeah, his studio's a block away. That's awesome.
Yeah, but
She's being horrible right now. I shouldn't have shown her. I should have given her the new toys after we did this. That's what it is. She would be so calm right now if I hadn't shown her
does
those
she
new
have
toys.
the toy?
No, I took. Well, she has some of the new toys, but not that tennis ball she was eating.
She wants the tennis ball.
Yeah, she wants to play more than anything.
Yeah.
She hates being left alone.
Will she like knock into the mic if she comes out?
I'll give it a try. It's
Give
not.
it a try.
It's not that. She's just gonna be constantly. She's gonna be at us. She's gonna be like, play with me. Play with me.
Ah, gotcha. She can sit next to me on my left like a regal dog.
Yo, you are being horrible. Hold on a second. Do I get a phone?
Luna, come sit next to me. Hey, Joe. Come sit.
Come here. She's totally looking for the ball.
Ball? Ball? Oh, where's the ball? Oh, is there a ball?
Luna, come here.
Ball? Ball? Ball?
Here. All right. So now we're gonna hear the sound of her chewing on this toy.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, man. I'm glad to have you back. It's cool to know that you're just down the street too.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a
It's-
collaboration off the ground finally.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so. I think it'd be really cool. I still want to do a like animated
Yeah.
series or something.
It's funny because you reached out to me years ago about doing a regular music video. We were talking about doing
Yeah.
something in a shower, and it was gonna be emotional, a lot of crying. It was like a breakup thing, I think.
Yeah,
and,
possibly. Well, no.
But
well,
then you
could've-
started talking about this animation thing,
Yeah.
and now it's apparent like animation is where you want to go. You definitely.
I think that's more your. Well, okay, so I know you're good at making music videos,
Yeah.
but I think you're more passionate about art, like visual art.
I
mean,
don't know.
that's what it seems like to me.
I don't know, man. When it comes to video work, it's like when it comes to animation, I'm not. I'm very hesitant to dive in because it's so labor intensive, as you know.
That's true.
But I am desiring to get an animation off the ground. I have to admit. I can't pretend like I don't want to.
I mean, it could even be very simple, like one of your monsters exploding.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Or
damn.
like shooting a fireball.
You're gonna empower me to do almost whatever I want.
I mean, I have no idea. Like, the thing is, like, one could come before the other. Like,
Yeah.
the song could come before the animation. The animation, like, if you draw some
Yeah.
sick thing, I don't know.
It could go either way. Totally. I think
It would be a collaboration, 100%. It'd be like,
Yeah, I
oh,
mean the fact that you live so close and we're friends, it could probably be even more organic than just one or the other. Maybe it could be, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, if that's possible, but
well,
yeah.
there's I just found out about an animation studio, or it's like a program, an app. There are a lot of apps out there where you can do.
yeah,
these
I'm not
things.
up on them at all. What is it? Do you know what it's called?
Well, that's the thing, is I don't remember the name of it, so it's no help. I'll have to you'll have to do an editorial
Yeah.
in there. But yeah, anyway.
So yeah, I mean you
good
want
to be back.
to make music videos and you want to. Oh, actually, when you first came to me to do that original music video, it was I don't know if it was because I think you probably always wanted to do a music video, but you were suddenly ready to do it because you had some success on Spotify. You're
Yeah.
like that story because I know so many musicians and we all know that nobody makes any money on Spotify when you do get hits.
Yeah.
But you're one of the only musicians who has had that I know that has had crazy hits on his songs, and
Yeah.
you can report back to us how
Well-
much. You don't have to tell us exactly how much you made, but how is the revenue from Spotify?
It's Spotify should pay a higher rate, I think, than it currently does. But I mean, given the playlist ads that I've had about 40 million streams.
Yeah.
And they pay half a cent per stream. So if you do the math on that, it's basically.
Do you know the number? Because
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's good. It's
40 cents per stream.
50, half a cent per stream. Half a cent.
Half a cent.
Half of a cent.
Yeah, that's insane.
If it was 1 cent, it would be double. I mean,
instead
it was just it's a lot. It's a lot of money, but it could be more if the rates were higher.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of people who do have thousands of plays, but aren't getting thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So I got pretty lucky that I got added to their mood-based playlist, and then a bunch of people caught on.
That's what it was. You got added to Spotify's mood-based playlist?
Yeah, Spotify added me to the Mellow Beats playlist.
Cool.
3 years ago.
And that was you didn't know anybody, it just happened?
I do know someone who works at Spotify.
Okay.
But I was working with him on something related to Sony. There was another artist who I was pitching to him, and
Yeah.
on the side, I'd always be like, "Hey, man, I just found out how to put myself up on Spotify. He just got a job there too," and so he's like, "Oh, cool, man. We'll check it out or something." And then 2 weeks later, he emailed me and he was like, "Oh yeah, we added it to one of our mood-based playlists. Here it is." And then he's like, and I also submitted it to our electronic editor who really likes it. So then I checked and I was like, "Oh, what's this Mellow Beats playlist?" He kind of just said, "Oh, we added to this." And then I saw that Chilean Sunset was on there, Journey was on there, and 2 other songs. They've added a bunch of songs. And then 2 years later, a year later, when I released another EP, I submitted it to the electronic editor who I had been introduced to.
Yeah.
And he then added it to this one playlist called Funkst, which it's no longer on there. And I think a couple others got added to Mellow Beats, and there's one song that's on Heartbeats. It's called Piano Sketch. It's really mellow piano song.
When these playlists go away, the stream count doesn't go away, right? You
No.
still have this. Yeah, that's cool.
So, and I can see that Spotify does an amazing job. They give you so much data to look at. So at one point I had 650, 700,000 monthly listeners.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. I'm trying to be quiet here. The dog is yanking on me really hard. Jesus, Luna. I'm sorry. What are you saying?
It's okay.
Man?
It's okay. I had 650,000 monthly listeners.
How many?
650,000.
Nice.
But then since last year, it's been going down steadily, and now I have 260,000 monthly listeners.
So you
which
got to
is
get on
still
more
a lot.
playlists.
But yeah, when I got taken off the Funks playlist, I noticed right away it goes down right away. So it's seriously, if you get taken off of one of these playlists, you get screwed.
So that's a big part of the game then that musicians need to learn. It's get on playlists. That's a solid.
Yeah, get on
way to-
play. I mean, and now Spotify makes it easy to submit to people. Anyone can do it. You have to go through this special form. There's no buddy about anything.
Yeah.
It's just a Google. It was a Google form, and now it's directly on Spotify for artists.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that makes it harder then, right? That's decreasing.
Because more people have access to it.
Yeah, and everyone has to go through that channel. You're
It's
saying
always been that way. I had to go through that channel too.
Okay.
I still had to submit it
yeah.
to my friend through that thing. He's very professional about it.
Okay.
They all are. They're
Yeah.
really, I think Spotify from the top down is concerned about payola,
Yeah.
which the radio stations used to do.
Yeah.
Artists and labels used to do to radio stations to get them to play it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, even working at a label, people were like, like, well, how do we get on the Spotify playlists? Like, they're like, Alex, how do you have more streams than our own artists?
It's kind of awesome that it's happening. It has been happening like that.
It's but it's a little bit disheartening for other artists, unfortunately.
You think?
Yeah,
Why?
like I'm happy for my own success, of course, but I have paid to go to shows of artists who have less streams than I do.
Yeah.
Like there's certain artists out there who I think are more talented than I am. Not that I want to, bring myself down, but
they didn't get on those playlists, and they just don't have the streams.
yeah, they don't.
I mean, there is
game.
an
My
incredible.
live game sucks.
I think there's tons of so many great musicians right now, and it's flooded, and it's a shame. Like even if you want to listen to all of it, you have to be like somebody that's all you do is listen to music to hear all of it. Like all day. You can't be a music maker and listen to all the music all the time.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
But I do still listen to a lot of music. Actually, I listen to.
You're good about that? Like listening to favorites and finding new music and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Like, what have I really liked recently? Well, I just recently found this like Chilean house group called Matanza. They're pretty sweet. Matanza. I also really like Bass Drum of Death. I went and just saw them, but he doesn't release a lot of music. He plays a lot of live shows, but doesn't release a lot of music. But it's all good stuff. And then I like Tame Impala, James Blake, the indie stuff that people all love now.
Yeah.
Oh man, you crazy, Luna.
I love. What do you think of that Rihanna cover of the Tame Impala song?
I actually kind of like it.
It sounds
the first
identical,
time I
though,
heard it,
doesn't
I was
it?
walking through the Sony building, and I heard it in someone's office, and I was like, "Wait, this isn't Tame Impala."
You could tell it wasn't their recording?
But it was before it was released because it was on the Columbia.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a blasphemy, and it's grown on me though.
But I find it to be hilarious because it's like almost identical to the song.
It is. It's just a different take on it without like a bunch of reverb. It's less of an indie. It's more of a pop vibe.
Yeah. I read an article where Tame Impala isn't their names, right? That's the name of the band. One of the guys.
Tame Impala is the name of the band. Kevin Parker is the name of the lead singer.
Yeah, I think the lead singer was just like, well, we'll just take her faithful rendition as proof that it was just a really well done song, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, he's in a band called Pond as well.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they're all in Pond or if Pond is all in Tame Impala or what, but
Yeah.
Pond also releases music.
Yeah.
Currently. And yeah, he's a funny guy. And Kevin Parker also, I think, worked on Travis Scott's new album.
Did he?
Yeah.
I think I heard that. Yeah.
Because he performed.
I've listened to that album a couple times. I need to get into it more. I haven't.
The Travis Scott album.
Everybody's saying good things about it.
It's amazing.
You're into it too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to it like 20 times.
Nice.
Every time I drive back up to New Hampshire.
That's one of the albums you play.
Oh yeah, I play it like multiple times.
Nice. Cool, man. I need to get Spotify for myself because I hate listening to things on YouTube. It's a pain in the ass.
Oh, you gotta get Spotify.
I'm just trying to keep my bills.
YouTube,
my bills.
But
low.
Spotify still doesn't have Tool.
Huh?
Which I'm a big fan.
Oh
of
yeah,
Tool,
I know it's
Spotify
hilarious.
Doesn't have
Yeah.
Tool.
I definitely get my Tool from YouTube right now.
Yeah. They also don't have.
But that's Tool's decision. That's Maynard's decision. I'm assuming.
Yeah. That's Tool's. Yeah. Volcanic Records or.
Yeah.
Whoever it is. Who else is not on Spotify? Oh, Freddie Gibbs' "Murder on My Mind" is not on Spotify.
What is that?
It's a song, "Murder on My Mind" by Freddie Gibbs. Not on Spotify.
I wonder. Do I know that song?
only on
I don't know if I
YouTube.
know that song.
It's a good one.
Can you sing?
Strong.
Are you a singer?
I can sing a little bit, but I choose not to. I don't know why. I don't know what the thing is. Like, I have lyrics, some melodies, but I'm not very good at writing melodies. I sang Harvest Moon at my brother's wedding.
Nice,
With
man.
my other brother. Yeah, we played guitar and sang.
In falsetto?
No, I didn't go, on this harvest moon. No. I just,
Neil's really up there.
people
man.
didn't hear me. My voice didn't crack, which was nice. I just
Nice.
had to like really give it a lot.
Yeah.
I'll maybe start to sing soon. I like to sing by myself.
In the
When I
shower?
was scared up in New Hampshire, or like if it was dark, I would sing.
It calms you?
Yeah,
Calming effect?
I guess so.
It's interesting, yeah. If you're feeling really down, or if life is horrible, singing actually does help. Or if
It
yeah,
does.
if you're, I'll have to try that next time I'm actually scared. I don't get scared that often
Well-
in Brooklyn, but if I'm outside the city, I'll get quickly scared.
It was it was like the loneliness factor of being scared.
Yeah.
Or just like the isolation. Because I do like the house I lived in was next to a major road, but when it got darker and also in the winter time when not a lot of people live there, like
Yeah,
it would get really, really quiet, like eerily quiet. Especially, and if it snowed, even more so, because of all the
it
snow.
insulates the
It's
sound.
insulation, yeah.
Yeah, which is
So, yeah.
amazing.
Sing, I don't know, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, Townes Van Sant.
Nice. All
Yeah,
yeah.
all that stuff.
I'm definitely gonna have to remember that next time I'm outside the city and I'm feeling scared or something.
Yeah.
Just sing a song.
Or like sing a jig.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maresy dots and dotsy dots, and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you?
What are you Irish or something?
No,
Or
but
what is that?
my my uncle is
Yeah.
not by blood, so my dad's sister's husband,
Okay, got you.
my uncle is Irish,
Yeah.
and oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mike. And he would
That's
he would
where you
often
learned it.
go off into jigs.
Getting jiggy with it.
I don't.
Uncle's getting jiggy again.
Yep, Uncle Mark.
What was your youth like, man? Were you a rebellious kid? Were you a troublemaker, or were
My
you like?
youth. I thought I was a troublemaker and rebellious, but turns out talking back to your parents is not really truly being rebellious.
Yeah, everybody has to learn
Or
how to do that
arguing.
at a certain age.
Yeah. No,
So, yeah, as far as like school goes and like the powers that be, you weren't like fighting with teachers or
well, I would
fighting
say
authorities.
I didn't. No, I did definitely, fight with teachers, or I was a troublemaker in class, or I would talk out, or just mess around with throwing things at other people.
Spitballs?
Yeah, spitballs. Like
Spitballs are the worst, man.
I went
There's
to- I
nothing-
went to Catholic
I
school
hate getting
all of my-
nailed in the back
yeah.
with a fucking spitball. Yeah,
yeah, or spitballs on the board. See,
That's
if
fun.
If you could
Yeah.
stick them on the board.
yeah. God, there are some things I actually do miss about fucking grade school, man.
Yeah.
Spitballs on the board, that brings back some good memories. Spitballs on the back of my neck, not so good.
No. I went to Catholic school all my life, and in grade school we would flick paper in the pews during church.
Yeah.
'Cause we had to be separated because we would talk, so we would flick paper to each other.
What, the little football things?
Yeah. And I think I got sent to the principal's office for that.
Nice.
One time I said that this girl farted in fourth grade.
And she
I was
didn't?
like, Haley farted. No, she might have. I just said she did. And I got in trouble. I don't really remember the details of that. I feel bad about it.
To this day.
Yeah. And I remember my mom scolding me about it because we weren't allowed to say fart. We could only say toot.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Toot's worse. Toot is way worse of a word as far
Yeah,
as I'm
I
concerned.
agree.
It's like an embarrassing, cringeworthy word. I
know.
tooted? Come
Oh,
on, get the
tooted?
fuck
Yeah,
out of
it's
here.
Yeah, my parents were really
It makes
conservative.
me kind of buckle up a little bit when I hear someone say toot.
So yeah, no curse words, cuss words.
Yeah,
My parents, didn't drink a lot.
same here, man. Luna's officially a guest on the show today. She's been kind of in the background recently.
Break my fingers.
Yeah, be careful, man. Don't let her do that. She's vicious, man.
Strengthening my hand.
A lot of musicians come over here for this pod. I've been recording mostly musicians, and it's like you don't really have anything to fear from her. You just got to be smart and careful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I do have a screw in my hand.
Musicians are afraid of dogs. Like their fingers are important for obvious reasons, and they come over and they don't even want to touch her. You're actually one of the rare musicians who's playing with her.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, I like dogs. I didn't grow up with any animals, unfortunately. I always begged my mom for a dog.
Yeah.
And then finally, I'm one of 8 kids, so.
Oh yeah, man. Shout out your
finally
siblings. What do
the
you got? How many brothers and sisters? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I have 8 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
One was like stillborn, I guess you call it. Yeah. Like my mom carried him to term, but that was in between my brother Andrew and my.
That makes 9, or that was.
That
8?
was 9 total.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Patrick, Sarah, Teddy, me, Andrew, Anthony, who is no longer with us, Elizabeth, Francis, Maggie.
So you're kind of right in the middle.
Yeah.
But that was an age order that you just did.
Yeah, did age order.
You guys, I'm assuming you got that down pat.
Oh, yeah.
Listing off siblings in age order. Was
Yeah.
that from oldest to youngest?
Yeah, it's oldest to youngest. I could probably tell you their ages, but
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, I won't do
Just
it.
in case I'm not letting you fuck it up.
yeah.
So no.
But
no
I do
sibling- there
know
won't be any
all their
siblings angry.
birthdays.
Nice. You
Um,
don't need to list that off though either.
no, I'm not going to. I don't think people want to listen to that. But yeah, it's a lot of people. Everyone is.
They'll listen to it if I offer
dynamic.
$100. If somebody, I don't know. I don't know how to test that. Somebody like the 5th person to get it right.
If you call.
If you call in and you get all
Before you
Alex's
listen to it,
siblings' birthdays right, you get
call
$100.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, true. After the thing,
Yeah.
it could be.
I need to get engagement up. I need to come up with some gimmicky ways to get people engaged in the podcast. So
Well, I have a lot of stickers that I can give away if you want to give them to people.
if you're serious, yeah, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
How do we do it?
Okay. How about.
Damn, Luna, that is not cool. We're over here trying to do a giveaway and you're just making noise?
Okay. Well, how about like if you comment,
Yeah.
if you made it this far in the podcast,
Yeah.
and you comment now about the stickers with like, you have to tag me and the show, and say, hey, I want a sticker, please.
Tag you. So it's only on YouTube right now.
Is YouTube?
Can you tag on YouTube?
Okay. I don't know if you can tag, but I have a YouTube account. How about you
Subscribe.
have to
Subscribe
to,
and comment. You have to comment on my video and subscribe to Lrkr.
Yes.
So all these links are in the description. So you go to the description, subscribe to Lrkr, and all my stuff too. Just click on everything.
Click on
Twitter,
everything.
Instagram. Follow us on everything. Although we won't check all that. What you have to do is leave a comment and subscribe to Lrkr, and you will receive a sticker. But you have to leave a comment on my video saying, hey, I want my sticker.
Yes.
Is that what we're going to say?
Yeah. Hey, I want my sticker.
Or say something nice. Say something like, hey, love Chilean sunset. Or like, I love...
You have to listen to one song and tell me what your favorite chord change is.
Yes, there we go. All right. We're obviously kind of kidding, but you have to leave some kind of thoughtful comment. Don't be thoughtless, and you'll get a sticker.
Don't be thoughtless.
All right.
And limited to, I think I have like 500 stickers. So,
Listenership doesn't go above 40 usually on these right now, so.
okay, so 40, let's say 400 stickers, and then we'll have covered.
Damn.
I'm joking. I'm not very good at joking because I'm kind of monotone.
Yo, do you do Sticker Mule? Sticker
Hell
Mule
yeah,
always
dude.
has these good deals that come in.
Dude.
Do you notice them? That's when I learned.
Yes.
So like yesterday's deal was for $19 you get, I think it was 50 circle 3-inch stickers, right?
Nice.
But I don't currently have, what I needed was my logo, my Studio Cinco logo. I needed it 1 inch. So I like a numbskull I sat on. I was like, oh damn, unfortunately this is 3 inches. I need 1 inch. The deal won't work for me. But then I was like, duh, I'm a fucking designer. And I crammed like a bunch. I think it was like 4 of my logo and a bunch of other logos on the 1 3-inch circle.
Yeah.
So now I have like, if you multiply, I don't know, say I got like 5 of my logos on one sticker times 50.
Oh, so then you're going to cut them?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
That's a fun solution to
Nice.
that problem, right?
Well, if you have to cut them in their circles,
Yeah. Not
That's
so
harder.
cool. Yeah. I was
But-
I was a little bit like, is this going to be, but I decided to go with it cuz hey, $19 as opposed usually it's like $50.
the other thing you can do is just submit it and they will resize it for you.
True.
They resized
But-
mine for me. I did like 2, but it might be
But this was a deal they were running and I needed the small size and the small size would have cost $50. I wanted the $19 deal. You know what I'm saying?
okay. Got you.
I'm hacking the system.
Yes. I just did. I found a deal and did transfer stickers. Like I had the same design, the last stickers.
What's
and then
transfer sticker?
It's like when you.
Like a tattoo type of approach to
No, it's like monogramming. Like you put the sticker, you take the back of the sticker off, and then the sticker is on the transfer side, and then you put the sticker
like on
on
glass.
something, and you take the transfer paper off. I don't know if I explained that correctly.
Is it you put it on glass?
You can put it on glass. It's like a die cut.
Right.
So like each letter is individual.
Okay. Oh, Lrkr is all individual. I got you. So you take off the back, so the sticky part's ready. You put it down, you peel it all off, and the
Yes.
letters remain. I
Yes,
got you.
sir.
I see it now. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So
So
your
I got one of
stickers.
those.
That's what you're giving away right now on this.
Well, I could. Okay.
Are you
so
are you offering a
another
different
offer, If
sticker?
you're still listening, if you comment about the special sticker,
Okay.
then I will send you a special sticker or transfer sticker or whatever. If you like send a winky emoji, then I'll know.
All right. This is a true test.
Yeah. True
Winky
test of
winky
listenership.
emoji and by request gets you a transfer sticker.
Exactly. And so I've got 100 of those, and then I've got like 500 other stickers that I need to somehow
Nice.
get rid of. So we'll give some away on the show.
I mean, I love what you've been doing, man. You've been doing what I want to do. I've been doing a little bit, but what I wanted to do was take my book around the country and just drop it off in every store I possibly could. I started, but it's pretty disheartening, and I don't leave Brooklyn that often. But you've been just traveling. Everywhere you go, you get your record in stores.
I have been doing that, but part of it was just a dream to do it and drive a long distance, and I really like road trips.
Yeah.
But part of it was I included the journeys with, going home for vacation for Thanksgiving, for
Right.
instance. So my
Yeah.
first one, I had just moved to New Hampshire. I had just bought a car, Subaru Forester, and I wanted to drive to St. Louis. So I just mapped out a route and went on Reddit and found a bunch of record stores. Like this guy made an incredible list of record stores. Maybe you could link that below, which is sweet.
Yeah.
I also have a link
Yeah.
of I have like a map of all the record stores that I've gone to.
In what way? Like a Google map?
Google
type of
map.
pin? Awesome, man.
Yeah. So
That's what I need to do too. So that helps with you.
organizing it, but
everything,
also
yeah.
just sharing it because there are
Share-
some
yeah.
records international that I obviously didn't drive to,
Yeah.
or that my brother brought in my place.
No, it's great for tracking,
But-
and you'll end up being able to help other musicians, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good guide for where to go, where not.
You're gonna
go.
have to show me how you're doing that because I want to do that too.
Either you have to go in like My Maps or something.
my
something.
I'm doing so many things right now, and it's like maddening to try to track things and making
Spreadsheets.
things simple or streamlining things is always clutch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just started doing it, and it's been really helpful.
yeah.
But it is. I mean, like you said, it is a little bit disheartening though. Like going to
Do you get turned down?
Oh yeah, all
Too.
the time.
Yeah.
People either turn me down or, there are multiple ways of being turned down, and there are multiple ways of not being turned down.
Yeah. It's a
there's-
super
there are
super
flat
wide
out-
spectrum, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, most of the people in New York are like cold and don't want to talk to you, which is unfortunate. And the only reason I can say that with confidence is because I went to like 40 other stores in different states where I didn't have the same type of interaction.
Yeah.
For instance, I went into one store, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. So I
Yeah.
went
Don't name names, but can you tell me some stories?
Yeah, well, I went to a store in Manhattan, and I had talked to someone previously there, like the day before, I said, hey man, like I'm in town. I don't have my record on me, but I'd be interested to come in and sell a few records to you. You know, I gave him the whole pitch, and he was like, oh yeah, cool. Like come by like later this week. We'll work something out. Sounds great. And I said, okay, cool. So the next day or later that week, I brought in some records, and like the guy wasn't there, and I was like, oh hey, like I'm gonna just say Matt. I don't remember. It's like, oh hey, is Matt here? And like he's like, he's at the other store. Like it's like, okay, like I talked to him yesterday. Like do you like, are you a buyer here too? And he's like, the buyer's not, like the other buyer's not in or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh well, I talked to him about it, and he was just ignoring me. And I don't know if there's really a punchline to this story. He was just ignoring me, and I basically had to say like, oh, like will you help me, to someone else? And then finally he's like, oh, like what, like you gonna keep me lip now? Like, and I was like, dude, you're not helping me. So I was gonna ask someone else for help. And he's like, I said, you said you weren't the buyer. And he's like, well, I am the fucking buyer. I'm the head buyer. I was like, okay, sorry. Well, like, why didn't you respond to me? And I get it. Like, people sling their records all the time. They come in there. Like, my music, I'm not going to say my music's the best thing in the world. I'm just trying to promote it. And also, I give them, like, a free version for in-store play so that they can have it to check out. And if they don't want to buy it, fine. They still get it on the they
get a free.
Get it in-store play.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But from then on, I had great experiences. Like Allentown, Pennsylvania, Double Decker Records is awesome. Easton Record Exchange is great in Pennsylvania.
Luna.
Where else?
Yeah, man.
Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Louisville was amazing. I went to this random place in West Virginia. That was kind of funny.
You're doing a great job handling my puppy right now, man.
Yeah.
She's annoying. I'm
Ferocious.
super annoyed just watching her with you. Luna, lay off him. Yeah, man. My first experiences bringing my book around were all in LA. Like before I even showed it to anyone in New York, I was showing it around LA. And the first store I went into, these two kids working. One kid was really nice. One girl was nice. This other guy was just like, "Oh no, we're not buying." And he said it like the nastiest way he possibly could. "No, we're not buying right now. Sorry." And I was like, "Fine. Well, can I get a card of someone who I need to talk to later when you are buying again?" You know, you just gotta be hard. Like don't let anything. That's my attitude. If they're gonna be a dick to me, I'm just gonna get all the information I possibly can and bother them later. You know.
Right.
But then the second store I went to, this guy was like he was being like the guy you just described, and then finally he got to a point where he's like, "Man, just fill out the form, submit 4 copies. It's not going to change either one of our lives." And I didn't even have like the guff or the spontaneous reaction of just like, "Well, maybe it'll change mine." You know? Like I was just like, "All right, fine." I walked out. But I think even he realized he was such a dick at that moment because there were other customers and everybody was just like, "What?"
Damn.
It was just like silence, like record stopping silence.
I mean, the best. So like, when I said there are 4 ways of, like 2 ways of saying yes, 2 ways of saying no.
Yeah. I don't know if you said that. I'm curious. What is that?
Well, okay. Well, the one way of saying no is hell no. Like,
Yeah.
The other way of saying no is like, oh, like the buyer's not in, come back later.
Yeah.
Or the stuff where they're like, oh, like we don't really buy it, but then and then.
Or like we're just not buying right now. We're waiting to for the next season or like some turnover.
But then there's like oh yeah, like I'll give you $10 for it right now, and then we'll decide the price. Or there's the yes, like we'll buy it on consignment. You give it to us, and then if we sell it, we'll pay you. Which is see you later record. Like you're never gonna see that money.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true, man. I've had a lot of things on consignment. Not a lot, but I have some consignment stuff out there, and you got to go follow up with them.
Yeah.
And even then, they might not actually keep good track of it.
Yeah.
And,
But to me, like, at this point, if they call me, great, but it's like a sunk cost at this point. I pressed the record in 2016. I would rather people just have it as like a collector's item. There's only 500 copies, so like there are only 200 copies left, 250 copies left.
Wow, man.
So I got to get rid of them. But yeah, and then there's also like the yeses where like you convince them because like you're driving thousands of miles.
The pity. You
Yeah.
convince them out of pity.
The pity, yes. So like,
And I haven't eaten in days.
yeah, and at Double Decker Records, they bought one like straight up for me. Like I buy lunch with sometimes they'll buy a record, 2 records.
And you can go buy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can go
it
buy
feels
lunch.
great, right? It's
Yeah.
so good. Yo, the Strand bookstore, man. I expected to not get in there. I expected that was going to be really difficult. That was one of the best experiences
Really?
I've had. Yeah.
That's
The
sick.
buyer there is super nice, and I've had several. I've gone back several times and restocked. So it's like,
sweet.
But then there's another store that will remain unnamed, and that was actually my worst experience. And it was funny because like the guy who I just told you about in LA was the meanest, really, if you
Yeah.
think about it, or the loudest about it. But this one store here in Brooklyn, man, I go in. There's a woman at the counter. I ask her. She's like, "Yeah, the owner's not in right now. But what do you want?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm interested in selling my book." And she's like, "Oh, I can look at it." So she flips through it like that real quick. And she's like, "Oh no, we're actually not buying right now." And it was just like the fact that she actually like barely looked at it and made the decision to do that, and then decided to be the powerful like one who's going to put me down. There was another woman there, and she kind of turned around. I could feel this woman's reaction. It was like, God, that was mean. That was just cold. You know, it just rubbed me
Damn.
so raw. I was like, and it's weird. It was like less words exchanged than other exchanges I've had. Luna, stop! I'm gonna cut that out. God, I'm just yelling at my dog at my podcast. You were being ridiculous. But yeah, and I'm sort of telling stories that make me kind of angry. This is the Short Bald and Angry podcast. Maybe it's time I finally get fucking angry. Luna, stop! But yeah, man, it's just you got to have thick skin. You got to keep doing it. You got to get all the information you possibly can out of every story. You got to just do you create like an Excel spreadsheet and everything too?
I have. I mean, I don't really have names of people, but I have all the business cards. Like
Yeah.
I got like Microsoft Outlook or not Outlook, OneNote,
Okay,
and you can like scan business cards, and then it'll
Nice.
scan the data digitally, which is cool.
that might be better than what I'm doing. Yeah, 'cause
It's great.
I mean, you got. But
Scan
I
it
also,
with your phone.
I also want to keep track of like how many copies they have. Like I'm trying to do that, and
I'm not so good about that.
Yeah.
Like how many copies everyone has.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many things to do. Like I did it all by myself. So
yeah, there are so
go
many
in
things to do.
there, hold the records, have my phone and take a photo.
Yeah.
Have to post it on Instagram right away.
Right. Yeah, we're doing the same
hashtags,
thing,
like,
man.
It's you have to do delivery, but you also have to do promotion in the moment. And then like if I've been driving for like 10 hours and I'm tired, or like I'm actually
Yeah.
I slept in the woods in my car in this like national forest on my way.
Sounds nice.
It was nice, but it was like I don't have cell service to post photos. from
Right,
there.
right. Yeah, you got to do it when you're with the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's just a lot of things going on with it, and at that point, I'm like,
There is so much to do,
you just
man.
you take the record. I know the store that it's in, or it might have been. I have the contact. I can call them and say, hey, like, do you want any more? Do you have any?
Have any stores said that if it doesn't sell in the first 2 months on consignment, you have to ship it back home?
No.
I've had a couple who say that.
Dang.
And that's the one. I mean, I just won't give it to those stores because like I'll lose money on that deal.
Yeah.
So that's just a no go. That's like saying no, we're not going to take your book.
Someone did email me or write me on Facebook, and they were like, it was a store in Boulder, Colorado, and they said they were shutting down, and that if I wanted to come pick up my record, I could. but I was like, I'm in New York, so I don't think I am gonna make it.
Throw
out
it in
by
a crate
this
on
weekend.
the side of the street, man. Hopefully that makes its way. That's what's fun about it, though, right? It's like in those scenarios, hopefully you hope it doesn't get thrown away, and it just like makes its way through the culture, you know?
I hope so. That's the idea, is to hope that some random person keeps it, but I don't really know how much faith I have in.
It'll
it's-
definitely happen, man.
Well, I don't know about the condition
Right.
that it'll stay in. Like, I've seen some old terrible records over at that thrift shop on Star Street,
And they're not playable, right?
and yeah, you don't know. I mean, but yeah, the hope was I should have numbered them or some shit, but
Oh yeah, definitely one of
I didn't.
500.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I mean-
definitely. Next
But
time.
they're unique because they all have an art insert that my friend drew.
Yo. She's such a little boss.
I'm bossy.
Yo, what was I gonna say?
Slanging records.
Slinging records, man. Slinging the vinyl. How much did it cost to press 500 vinyls? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like. Well, I can round. It was like $4,000.
$4,000. That's a lot.
It was.
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, it was a lot, and
Because if I do 500 books, what have I done? I forget what I've done. It's definitely not that much for books. Yeah.
yeah, vinyl. Okay, so
Do you know what the cost is per vinyl?
yeah, like $832 or something.
Oh, then that actually is exactly the price of my. That's like a little bit more than my book.
The price went up because there are many components. I mean, I don't know if you have to do this as well, but you have to actually pay for the master template. Like there's a piece of like acetate, or that might be the wrong word. There's like a platter, metal platters.
Yeah. Is it a mold?
That they still
It's like-
have it. Yeah, it's
like
a
the
mold.
yeah.
So they still have the master. So you have to. I think it's called plating.
They keep it. You don't buy that from them, or
I can buy it from them, or I can they can ship it to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can use it anywhere else. But for now, they still have it, and then if I wanted to do a repress, I wouldn't have to pay that same fee because I would already have the mold.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, man.
so yeah, you got to pay for the mold. You got to pay for, mine's 150 grams. It could be 140, 100, whatever.
What, you can make it lighter,
You can make it lighter. I
Lighter
mean,
is-
140 is
cheaper, and not as good,
lighter,
or
cheaper. Yeah, like 180 gram vinyl is
the best.
people hype that.
Cool.
And
Have-
then I had to pay extra for colored vinyl.
You got colored vinyl
Yeah,
too.
extra for black sleeves instead of white sleeves.
Nice.
Shrink wrap is extra. Like all these different costs.
All the things you want to make it. To
yeah,
spruce
and
it up.
shipping. Oh my
So
god. it was
that's what goes into the
fucking
4,000. The
hilarious when
shipping.
it was shipped to me.
What happened?
They just left it all like in front of my apartment.
Outside,
and- yeah.
like on the street.
Yeah, it was just a
Oh,
bunch
shit.
of boxes.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the books, man. It's like I think it's a delivery that's supposed to get signed for, but they will just leave it, and then
Well,
there's
I
like
told them
crazy piles
I
of boxes.
coordinated. They had to bring a truck.
Yeah,
Like a truck especially for this. And then I moved with that stuff. Like
it's maddening.
it's insane. They're all now. A bunch of those are up in New Hampshire, and some of them are in my studio now.
It's just so one of the things I find disheartening is just that, like, the amount of money I make doesn't like increase every year. If anything, it goes down and up and down, but it doesn't like wildly increase. But my costs of doing business is going like if I'm going to do the things I want to do, I got to start spending even more money than I already have. And I'm like,
Yeah.
like I just bought a bunch of new books, and it's just like, damn.
Your books?
Yeah.
Re-upping? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's just like,
Well, it's good to re-up. I mean, I've thought about repressing, but I don't have a marketing plan,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get a marketing plan.
me
before
too,
I-
man. That's what we need. We need to creative people really need to have mixers with business people and marketing people, and just like,
I'm a marketing person. That's
yeah, you
my-
were at Sony.
That's where I studied. That's what I studied, and that's what I.
That's what you did at Sony.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a like seasoned professional, but I got a little bit of insight into it, and advertising is a big thing, but money drives advertising, and if you can have like the right keywords and tags and the right visual assets or
Yeah.
the right SEO
Yeah.
in your posts,
Right.
But if you don't have money to push it to those channels, then it's harder to work with.
Yeah. The
So-
only thing I'm doing is promoting on Instagram right now. That's like the first step I took to paying paid
promo,
promotions, and I only do it with the Photoshop post for each podcast. That's all I'm paying to promote right now.
But is it cheap to? What am I thinking? So you have a shop now button straight to your book.
Right now it's just my Patreon actually. So
Okay.
it's like I'm just paying to promote these podcast posts, and I send you to my bio. You go to my Patreon. Hopefully, subscribe to me on Patreon and join. Become my patron. But
And if you
But as far as my
subscribe, you
book
get the
goes, do I want to say that right now? No, actually, there's so Patreon. You know Patreon, right? There's like
Yeah.
tiers, and you get a book if you donate a certain amount of money. I forget what the tier is.
Okay.
But
okay.
But yeah, my book used to be in the link. I need to eventually get my website back together, and then I'll put my website back
Yeah.
in there.
Well, I mean,
But
I would, promote the book separately from the podcast, maybe.
oh yeah, I do. It has its own Instagram and everything. I actually, for the first time, went on Instagram to try to get the podcast everything, and someone's got fucking Short, Bald, and Angry podcast,
Really?
believe it or not, and it's not visible. It's invisible. It's just taken.
Oh man.
Yeah,
They're waiting for you to get big,
yeah,
or like Joe Rogan to like want to do it.
yeah. But what was I gonna say with all that? Because
Marketing and
yeah,
promotion.
we're paying. Yeah, it's like we do need to pay more. We know that. It's like a question of like what you choose to pay for. You got to be wise with it because we're not corporations who can just sink our money into every outlet. We gotta be very deliberate and
Well, it's also creative assets.
Yeah.
Creating the actual banner, like the 1500 by 500 or whatever the specs are for the banner itself. The actual thing that you upload to Facebook or the actual thing that you upload to AdRoll or Google AdWords. Those are the little details that people have to create.
that's the part
It's
I
annoying.
can handle.
You're like, okay, Instagram.
We should have like meetups and talk more. I mean, I know that they're out there, but I don't really have. I'm actually pretty. I feel like I'm connecting to more people now this year than I have in the past. But I need to go even further with it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, man, but do you intend to just keep going forward 100% solo, or do you want to like bring collaborators on and like we were talking about the music aspect, but from like the marketing perspective, do you want to bring people on to help with marketing?
I have done a little bit of.
Luna, come here.
You're scratching my arms.
That's not cool, Luna.
I have done so. I mean, I've done Facebook ads, Instagram ads.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything with Pandora, but I used to do those things with
You're
like
on
the
Pandora?
bands. I mean, Pandora, you can do like liners and things like that. Like, hey, you just heard this song.
Yeah. That's
Tune
fun,
in,
man.
Blah blah blah. There's Spotify ads that I want to get involved with more. I know some people on the Spotify
Yeah.
ad team
Yeah.
who can help me out with like. Basically, what they do is they can tell you how long to make a video spot or what size it needs to be. Then like they can handle like payment and things like that. So I can do that stuff. I've thought about getting an agency.
Do they charge you
involved.
for that? Spotify?
I don't know if I still haven't looked into it. I've only. So there are companies out there who will do your marketing for you, but
Right.
they'll use services that already exist to do it. Like
Yeah.
they'll use Facebook's ad platform. They'll use Google's ad platform. They'll
Right.
use,
That's the funny thing about where we're at, right? Like in the
Yeah.
past, you'd be paying people to do things that you literally couldn't do. But now everybody's doing the shit that you could easily do yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Well, you
that's
could call
it's
up a
all on
billboard
Instagram.
company.
It's all on Facebook.
You could call up a billboard
True.
company.
True. You
and
could
say,
do these things. For whatever reason, to me, all that seems a little more mysterious and harder to do. But with
'Cause
the
the money.
fact that Facebook, like the stuff is all on our phone, it's literally stuff we can do ourselves. So it's kind of
Yeah.
weird to be paying someone to do it.
Right. And that's sort of what I learned when I was working in marketing at
Yeah.
Sony. That, a lot, or hiring outside companies, outside PR companies, I'd say like, oh, like the reason we're doing this is because we don't have the manpower to do it long term or whatever. Like it makes more sense to hire someone for a campaign
Yeah.
rather than to hire them for like as a salary person.
Yeah.
So you have, 3-month-long campaign where someone creates your assets for you, someone uploads them to all the different places. Someone makes sure to like give you analytics on it to see how it's running. I check my Spotify analytics a lot, and that's how I target people. So like
What's your main demographic?
my top city, well, I can like look it up on my phone, but
Because I know
New
I'm all
York
like
and
teenage boys are my main demographic according to my Instagram promotions.
oh yeah,
I'm like,
Well,
damn.
dude, you gotta. I mean, I think that you can connect with artists. You can connect with
Yeah.
uh,
Well, you can target them.
art people who appreciate art.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you personally
Yeah.
can connect with both people who make art and people who enjoy it, like, and
Yeah.
young and old.
That is my market.
There you go.
Yeah, the only people who bond with me on my art tend to be artists, actually. The people who really love my shit it's like they end up having their own studios and their own practice as well.
Nice. Yeah, so
Get the ball. Get the ball.
my top cities are LA, London, New York, San Francisco, and Chicago.
Nice.
But for some reason, a lot of people in the Netherlands listen to me, and Norway.
That style of
I've
music
gotten-
is big there, right?
Yeah, I've gotten messages from people there. Like one guy in Norway did like this Easter rap over one of my songs, and he made a video.
No shit.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Easter. Like Easter.
Yeah, like-
the bunny?
Yeah, Easter, like, Jesus rising from the dead on the third day.
Like
After
super
he was-
religious
after
or
he was
ironic or
crucified.
something?
No, he was like, he's a religious guy.
Wow.
And I'm not, like, I was raised being religious.
Luna.
I'm not currently religious,
Yeah.
but
I'm agnostic.
I also don't care, like, if he, like,
Yeah.
what he was doing was completely harmless, and to me, at least, I didn't really know. They didn't have subtitles. It was all in, like,
Yeah.
another language.
Nice. That's fun, man. I think you showed that to me. I feel like you showed, or you definitely told me about it.
Yeah. It was. I think it was on like their national TV too, and their national radio.
That's always cool, man. I love hearing. I love stories like that. How things make their way out and permeate, and like,
It's
yeah,
very
man.
random.
I was gonna say, well, taking it back to getting the book out in stores and everything. I dropped it off at a coffee shop. I intend to do this more, like coffee shops, just places where I can leave it for free. And I've actually had like a lot of people come into my life who were at that coffee shop and saw it there. It's funny.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, wow, I gotta do more of that. That's
Well,
important.
you could also say like, yeah, bring it in as like a coffee table book.
That's it. Yeah, it's a gift. It's just leave it out here. It's for the public. It's for your patrons to
Way
enjoy while
better
they're here.
than- That's way better than having like a record there. You know, because anyone can just flip through it. You don't have to have a record player or anything.
Well, the record player is the record is difficult because you need the record player. But they're super popular again, man. It's like it's kind of awesome. They're back. Did you take it to Norman Sound and Vision by any chance?
Yeah.
Don't say anything. We'll just leave it at yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Or did he accept it? We'll leave it at yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm wondering if you said that because you saw it there.
I didn't. No.
Okay.
No.
No, yeah.
But you gave them a.
Yeah, I gave him a copy.
gave him a
and
copy,
yeah, there
He's-
was no.
He says no to everybody, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll give no qualified
Yeah.
answer to.
My roommate
question.
Eric Mixon used to work there, and yeah, we were trying to get people's records in there, but Norm doesn't buy shit. He's just selling.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be understanding, right? It's like this is your store, it's your business. You think you know your clientele, and do what you want, you know. And I get it. It would be really annoying if I was running a store and I had all these people coming in trying to give me their product. I can see it from that perspective, but
Someone named Jake Strange just added me and said, check your DM. And I said, yo.
what's he say?
He's got 33,000 followers. He said, could I use Crystal Sky in a promotional ad video for one of my brands? Love the song.
What's your price?
How much?
Yeah.
What is your budget? Do you say what's your price or what's your budget?
Budget's way better. That's also smart negotiating tactics. You want to get the other person to give the number before you give the number.
Yeah, I have trouble navigating that space for sure. Music has always been a passion for me. Not something that I necessarily thought I'd be making money from. Mm-hmm. So asking people to pay me for something that I love doing anyway is like kind of hard.
Yeah, I agree, man. But we got to get better at it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
and,
it's
and I
like-
want to do it. So now the question is sort of like, do I want to, like, yes, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to get paid. But do I even want to do it? Mm-hmm. Maybe I could just spend my time on something that I know I'm going to get paid on for sure. Or something that I know is going to be mine in the future.
Right.
Like a different song.
So you're talking about like the choice between either you're doing it for a lot of money or you're going to say no to a little bit of money so you can just do your own thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on that. I've been having this conversation a lot just because this podcast, and I've been going on some other shows and talking and stuff, and it's like my philosophy is definitely every project's different, every relationship is different, so that will inform like what the money needs to be and who's paying what and how much and why. You know, it's like I do free work. I did some free work this summer and I think it was the best job I did this year actually. One of the best jobs I did this year, and it's just like I'm grateful that I did it. You know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I got paid a lot on some other job and I hate it and I don't even want to show it to you. You know, it's like there's a whole weird spectrum of ways to get money and things to make.
Well, one of the guys who also has a studio where I have a studio,
Yeah.
it said he was working on some like anime erotica voiceovers.
Fun.
And he was like, but I also can hear Christmas music coming from there, and it's a variety.
Did you hear the anime erotica?
I didn't hear the anime erotica.
That would be fun.
That would be, quite the surprise.
Oh, wait, so
honestly.
you're trying to record over there, but you can hear him recording too? Do you have to like take turns and schedule or something?
No, so I don't really use mics. Everything is directly into an interface.
So you don't have to worry about pissing him off.
Analog audio. Yeah.
And technically he's not fucking up your feed, so there's no problem there, huh?
There's no problem.
Sweet, man.
And I mean, he has 2 isolation booths to do vocals or other thing, like to do some amping,
Yeah.
reamping. But yeah, I mean, I do have some microphones for recording some vocals or maybe just speaking if I want to make like a video on how to use something or.
Have you been doing tutorials?
I've done like 2. And
Do they get
I'd
a
like
lot of
to
hits?
do more. I have one that is how I made my song Chilean Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I had one that's about this piece of modular gear that I bought in Berlin.
Do they get a lot of
where I,
hits?
like making a cable. No, they don't.
They don't?
No, the Chilean Sunset has a lot, but
Because how-to videos, they tend to get hits. It's a thing. Like one of the videos that I've made was like how to make slime, and or snow. I forget one of the two, and it got a crazy amount of views. It's just like people want to know how to make shit. What do you hope for the future, man? Like what do you see coming for you in the future? Is there something you want to do or make happen? Are you in the middle of it already? Or is there like a big plan, or is there?
I mean, right now I'm just really stoked to have the studio set up, and like I'm finally at a point where I like getting up to go do what I want to do. I was just thinking this morning actually that I woke up at 7:30 or 8 and like almost rushed out of the house so I could get to the studio and just start working.
Yeah.
And
that's
I've
awesome,
never
man.
had a job before where I wanted to do that. I'd always like be waiting to the last second to get out of the house because I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm just in a good place right now, and I'm actually not looking. Even though I love seeing my family, I love my family, love the holidays, but I'm not looking forward to the holidays because
It's gonna throw you all off.
It's gonna be like a month, 2 weeks next week,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to Puerto Rico for Christmas. It's like, dude, I'm gonna have a month off, and call me a workaholic, but
it's so no. I'm 100% with you on that. It's so frustrating. I hate it because like that's every month actually. There's like very few months where you have uninterrupted work, and then you have to make a living on top of it. It's just like balancing all that is such a fucking pain in the ass. It's like that's why like the trick is to always be just like ready to go when you finally do get that time, and it's frustrating when you're not ready. Like I haven't been able to capitalize on my free time lately because a number of reasons, moving included, and it's just like, but yeah, you just got to be ready to go at all times.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hopefully bring some equipment home for Thanksgiving, and I can practice some stuff for the live set that I'm working on. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the future is just I'm happy where I'm at, happy to go into work every day early and stay late. And I'm excited to get a live set going, something that I'm actually proud of, because in the past it's just not really what I want, and I think it could be more dynamic than it's been in the past.
It's its own. Yeah, you just need to put some love into it, just
Yeah.
some time and love. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just all about practice. I mean, the way I make music is so it's I don't want to say loop based, but there are a lot of like repeating themes or layers. It's layered based. That I don't make everything right at the same time either. So it's just hard to like relearn every part. Because I learn the bass part and then I focus on that for maybe one whole day,
And then you record it, and then you're done.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I might forget. I don't forget it completely. I can relearn it really quickly, but
But
I
yeah,
forget how to play it.
you just you need to literally practice your own songs. That's a funny thing.
Yeah.
You know my buddy O'Henny.
Yeah.
We're making our 4th music video together right now, and I literally had to tell him like, yo, you just need to listen to your song more.
Yeah.
You actually just need to listen to what you recorded, because you don't know your song.
Yep.
But actually, like as a music video maker, that's not the first time that's happened. I often know the songs better than the musicians
That's
know their songs.
amazing.
I call them out on shit all the time, and they're like, no, and they're like, oh, you were right, because I listen to the songs on repeat. I'm just like, I'm trying to come up with visuals, and I literally put it on repeat.
Yeah.
So I end up knowing their music better than they do.
Yeah, and that's been So that's really good to hear, because I've been driving myself insane. I'm like, I'm not a real musician. I don't even know my songs.
Yeah,
But-
it's just time and love and effort and energy and attention. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited to hear that, man. That's cool. And you were one of the good friends who came to my book release and performed live, and I'm
Indeed.
grateful.
Yeah.
Was your set the set when the mic started to break, or was that during O'Henny's set?
I think it was O'Henny's.
So you got your set in.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
was okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mic was just fucked. I didn't need a mic.
Yeah. Yeah, the
mic
XLR cable broke, or the mic broke or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
So then O'Henny got real experimental.
Yeah, that was very interesting. He was just sort of like standing there.
He was making some beats and music and stuff.
Yeah,
He's an experimental dude, man. I've seen him do a wide range of shit.
yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yo, we're about an hour and 30 minutes in here. How are you feeling? Do you want to wrap it up?
Feeling good.
Do you want to keep going?
I'm up for whatever.
Have I missed anything? Is there anything that you really want to talk about that's going on in life in general, music or not music related even?
I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption.
I don't know it. I'll have to check it out.
It's a PlayStation game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not into video games. You play a lot of video games in
well,
general?
I wasn't into video games. I mean, I've always been like the kid who didn't have the video game console, who went over to the other kids and was like, "Oh my god, can we play Tony Hawk or James Bond?"
Yeah.
So I never had one, and then finally I was like, if I'm gonna be separating work from home, then I'm gonna like totally relax when I get home
Yeah.
and just playing video games is a great way to relax.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. This game is super cool though. You just explore this Western world, and it's like the graphics are insane.
I think I've heard about it. I heard
It's-
like great character building, design, and writing and everything.
Yeah, the design is amazing. I believe some people were like complaining about how long like the hours were, so I don't really know what the story is there.
How long it takes to play it?
No. Like the hours were for the workers who built the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's always
they
unfortunate.
were working overtime or something like that.
That's always the case, but then they get ripped off too. Is that
No,
what
but that's
happened?
not. I mean, yeah, I'm just so happy that I have work and home separation finally. It's so like I want to go to more shows now, or like I'm more interested in going to shows now as opposed to just like being stuck somewhere. You know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Yeah.
I always like in theory want to go to shows, but then I feel really uncomfortable at them. Like my body literally starts to hurt by the end of the show, and I'm not a bad dancer, but I'm not a bold dancer.
Yeah.
As a white man, I definitely feel embarrassed watching other white people dance, and I don't want to be clumped in with that category of embarrassing white people dancing.
Yeah.
So I tend to not dance at shows, and then I'm just like standing there, and like it just kind of hurt at the end of it, and I don't know where to stand. I don't even. It's like, all right, I'm gonna stare at the band the whole time. That's kind of weird. I'm gonna stare at this like hot chick across the party. That's kind of weird too. And I'm broke, so I don't want to buy drinks. It's just like I don't know how to exist at shows right now.
It's hard. I mean, a lot of crowds don't know how to even
And
just bob or sway.
You look around and everybody else is having the same difficult time too.
Yeah.
I can recognize that now. I'm not
But
so
it's-
insecure and
I mean,
self-absorbed.
some people are insecure about it, and some people are actually like, I'm so fucking cool, I'm not gonna move.
Yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of
I
me
saw this
actually.
band
That's
4
me.
times before this night.
Yeah, I prop up and I just get a good lean going on.
Yeah.
Maybe I put one foot in front of the other and I just,
No, man, that's for like your living room. Shows are
for moving.
for in my opinion. I mean,
Do you go to shows and move?
I like to move.
Nice, man.
definitely. Like,
I should go to a show with you sometime then.
well, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I just pictured the last show I was at, where I moved a lot. It was Power Trip, which is like a power metal band, or what the hell is this, dude? They're like thrash metal, I guess. And that mosh pit was insane, and I was like actually winded by it and realized how out of shape I was because of that mosh pit experience. But I don't know, man. You just feel free in there. I wouldn't really want to be in a mosh pit around like people that I know, because they'd probably be like, "Man, he's insane."
Do you go? Oh, you get hardcore in a mosh pit, huh?
Lrkr gets hardcore in a mosh pit. No,
Yeah, man.
No. I don't hit people, but I get hit by other people, I guess. I don't know. You just push.
I haven't
you
been
just
in a
push
mosh pit
people
since
back
grade
and
school.
forth. You just push people back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, maybe run in a circle. If anyone falls, you get picked up,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Not all the time.
Well, usually people are pretty considerate.
Yeah, it's true. Man.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. I think there's a range of mosh pits, and you do have to be careful
There's
because
a range.
I don't know if they're that bad anymore. There was a time in the past where there were some horrible, violent mosh pits. I don't know if it's like that anymore.
Yeah.
But
That's true. Travis Scott has a line in one of his new songs.
get the toy. What is it? Do you know
I think it's,
about a mosh pit?
yeah. It's like, and it ain't a mosh pit if there are no injuries.
I was at a Tenacious D show,
got
and they
him.
had to carry this one guy out of the mosh pit.
Dang.
I think it
I
was
was
a
at a Tool
Hammerstein ballroom.
concert and got crushed by people behind me. I was getting crushed into the bar.
No shit.
Yeah, so I had to like crowd surf my way out of it.
Like you climbed up to get out.
I was like, dude, get me out. Yeah, I climbed up and went to the front,
Nice.
and then got out at the back, and then I was no longer in the front row, but it was worth it because
The bar was in the front row.
the bar was the front row. Yeah,
Interesting.
the bar, not the bar.
Oh, the bar. Okay,
the
right.
bar,
Right.
like-
you were just getting sandwiched.
I
up
was
in the
getting
front.
smashed.
You said
into
at a
the
Tool
front.
show?
Yeah,
Damn, man, where was that?
Lollapalooza.
Nice. Yeah, that's got to
It
be
was-
intense, man.
It was insane.
Yo, I love. There's so many bands from like the '90s that I just throwing them on. It just feels so good. It's just such an affirming thing to be like, or it's such a good reminder that like there's this so much music out there that I don't listen to anymore at all,
Yeah.
and I can go back and listen to it. I love it, man. Like 9 Inch Nails. I love going back and listening to them.
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
Alice in Chains.
For sure, man. All that stuff. Nirvana.
Oh, yo, I have to.
You got a text?
Yeah, I do have a friend coming to the studio.
You want to close it out, man? Let's end it. We're officially at an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, would you be not? I'm gonna go get some coffee. Well, actually, shit, I need to go. Fuck.
What?
I need to build some instrument cables. So I was gonna go to Mikey's hookup. Maybe I'll just do it tomorrow or tonight. Yeah. instead of buying them, I'm just gonna buy like a
You're gonna make your own cables.
spool of like 200 feet, and then just the leads.
Nice.
And solder it. Solder the shit out of those leads.
I like it, man. Take inspiration from Lrkr and make some of your own gear. Save money and
Yes.
just learn how shit works.
Yeah,
Yo, so this is how we close it out. We didn't really talk about anger, so if I forget to talk about it over the course of the show, I throw it in at the end, and it usually doesn't get a very good answer, but I'll throw it out anyway.
Okay.
Does anything make you angry these days, and what is it, and how do you deal with it? How do you cope with it?
Oh man, so many things make me angry these days.
And obviously, don't throw anyone under the bus, but
Oh yeah. No, I wasn't thinking about that. Well, I mean, people in general are pretty infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
But not individuals. But that's like, you know.
maybe like hopping on the subway and dealing with masses of people is annoying, or something else.
Yeah, I guess that. But man, I think the thing that makes me angry the most is inconsideration.
Yeah.
Inconsideration. When people do not see outside themselves. They look around, but they don't really see who's outside themselves, or they don't hear. They're not aware. So people who are inconsiderate, people who are inconsiderate just can,
Go fuck themselves.
go die. Like
Yeah.
it's people who cut you off, people who cut you in line when they know you're there, or like people who try to get ahead of you just because they think you're not looking, or myriad things.
Mm-hmm.
People who are doing a job and they're talking to their coworker instead of doing their job. Like if you go to Tokyo, they're doing their job and they're there to like get whatever their job is.
You're just in Tokyo.
Yeah, and they're so nice.
They're
They
efficient.
bow to you, dude. Like I went and got a massage, and the lady bowed to me, like after I made the reservation, like outside. And then I bought some clothes, and they bowed to me on the way out. Like I bought some records, and everyone bows.
Yeah,
they're really considerate.
Japanese culture is extra polite. Yeah.
They're just really, really considerate people. So when I see people who are like lazy at their, job, like some hipster in a coffee shop, like who
This whole neighborhood, man. And like I don't really spend money on things. I make all my own meals, and I try not to go out and spend money. But when I do spend my money, I get it. Those jobs suck. I don't want to complain about them too much, but it is pretty annoying when somebody's being a dick to you when you're about to spend money and buy something.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And I'm not speaking, I don't think I'm speaking out of line because I've worked in 3 different restaurants.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah, me too, man.
And I have
Treating customers
awesome
shitty
experiences with most people. I think I have good experiences.
Yeah.
Especially when you can sit down face to face at a bar and you're just like, you can have a conversation with the bartender.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so inconsideration.
That reminds me of that guy at the record store you were talking about who was like kind of ignoring you until finally you tried to go to someone else, and he's like, "Well, I'm the buyer."
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
It's like, oh, now your ego's on the line all of a
Yeah.
sudden. Now you care, and you're still gonna be. Did he end up taking it or no?
I ended up leaving like 5, but
On
he was
consignment?
No, I just left them there because I was like, oh, like he'll talk to the guy who I had spoken to the day before, the
Right.
previous days.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he'll just talk to him, and then I never heard anything.
Yeah.
So I was they probably talked. They're probably like, oh, some asshole came in and they're like, yeah,
Some
I was
asshole.
not. They're like, oh, I wasn't gonna buy from him anyway. Like maybe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, no hard feelings. I'll go back there and I'll try again. And if
Man.
they say, oh, hey, you're that asshole, I'll be like, oh, hey, I'm sorry about that. I was just really desperate to get this.
Did you get it in a rough trade?
No.
No. You didn't try it.
I've tried like twice. I've emailed once. They said that they weren't taking anything.
Really?
It's not new. It's like,
Oh, because it's old, they won't take it.
no, but I think that doesn't help it.
Yeah.
When it was new, I tried getting it in there and it didn't take. But Vinyl Me Please took 50,
Whoa.
and they're sold out of that.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Luna, you got to stop barking.
Yeah, they put it on their member. It wasn't the big pressing that they do of like, they do like a 15,000 unit pressing. I think it's 50. It might be 30. Of like their exclusive. So I submitted for the exclusive, but they said that they couldn't do that, and instead they said if you press it, we'll take. They actually said 75, and then eventually took 50 at a discounted price.
50 is amazing, man.
Yeah, I'm
That's
stoked about
a
it.
great order.
Yeah.
So the last bit to close out, man, is always advice on this show, specifically for it doesn't have to be just creative people, but it should be creative people, and especially people who haven't like started putting themselves out there yet. People who haven't really like taken the steps into their career yet. Like, do you have any advice for them?
Okay. Yes, and this is, I guess, on the spot, but I would say just keep practicing whatever you do. Mm-hmm. Like, keep drawing, keep making music, keep practicing the unicycle or juggling or whatever it is that you like to do.
Yeah.
Just keep practicing it. Don't worry about who your audience is right away. Don't worry about promoting it necessarily.
I'm sorry to cut you off right in the middle of this, but that's a good point that nobody has ever made.
Yeah.
Because like when you're just starting out, adults and everybody really, like a lot of people come in your life and be like, who's your audience? Do you know who your? It's like nobody. This is a stupid fucking question. Who's my audience? I obviously have no audience.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Just make the thing first, right?
Yeah, make the thing, and then once you make the thing, you'll be in the right place at the right time when that time comes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll be in the position to capture your audience. Like, once you're teed up. Like, luck is like 90% preparation, or being what the hell is that phrase?
It's being
It's just being
prepared
in the
and
right
ready, and
yeah,
it's
being
90% luck and preparation or something. I think
Yeah.
that's it, or 50. I don't know. Fuck.
I hate sayings.
Well,
like this.
I'll
This is what iPhones
I'll
are
Google
for.
it and put it in an intro or something like
Yeah.
that.
But
But I know what it is. It has a lot to do with preparation and luck and
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
So, I mean,
You gotta be ready for it when it comes.
yes, definitely. I mean, in relation to my story, I could have stopped making music after college. Even during college, I could have stopped making music. I was putting shit on SoundCloud and no one was listening. I'd get like under 200 plays, and other kids in school were doing remixes and getting so much more, and I was wondering why, and it's because it was remixes and not original music. But
Oh yeah, they were getting hits because of celebrity names on their stuff.
yeah, so had I stopped making that stuff, I never would have been in the position to release something in 2015 while I was working at Sony. I just if I didn't continue that practice, even though I didn't have an audience, I wouldn't have been in the right place. So now is at the right place, right time, and I'm starting to get an audience.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, and practice refers not just to like waking up and playing the scales, but also like the practice of doing your craft and making your work.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you mean.
Yeah. Yes, but I really do mean
Literal
practice.
Yeah.
Like, have a plan. Practice. Like, my brother Andrew just started playing the guitar 2 or 3 years ago, and he released an EP on Spotify. And it's not out of the park yet because it hasn't been added to a playlist, but he already has over 1,000 plays with all of his songs, and that's pretty big for someone who's unknown. Usually, it says less than 1,000.
Oh yeah,
plays.
300 is like an average number if you're lucky and you're
That's
unknown.
great, yeah.
Yeah. So 1,000's great.
So he just every day he practices the scales once or twice, forwards and backwards, and then he goes on to whatever next thing he wants to do, and just chipping away at it.
Yeah.
Day by day, no matter what. People say, "Oh man," older people say, "Oh, I should start playing the piano again." Just do it. If you have a piano, put your hands on the keys.
Yeah.
Let them fall on the keys. It doesn't. If
This
you're
does apply to
embarrassed-
older people too. It applies to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
people say, oh, one of my biggest regrets was quitting such and such. It's like, yeah, well, you didn't really quit. You just suck still.
Just practice more.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I still suck. Like I'm not, you know, I can't. If someone like said to me at a piano bar, like, oh, play us a song, I'd be like,
Play us a song, Mr. Piano Man.
No, I can play like a song from Amelie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm
And
assuming a nice, pretty sounding song.
Yeah, it's nice. I've never even seen the movie. It's just a song that my grandpa used to like that my Aunt Mary would play. So
Oh, cool.
it's special to me.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, and also just be unique. Practice your unique craft. Don't practice. Well, I guess practicing other people's shit too. I'm rambling.
Yeah, I mean, when you're starting out, you are gonna naturally gravitate towards copying your favorite shit. And you should. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what people who are starting out do. But eventually, yeah, it's a tricky thing, man. That's a threshold you gotta cross because there's like a lot of cliche talk around like, you know, good artists borrow, great artists steal. But that's actually some bullshit. Like great artists contribute something original to the table.
Yeah.
They bring some real original shit around, even though it's all already been done. It's also done in different ways. So, yeah, you can't copy. You're gonna get called out and you're gonna fail. And people are not gonna respect you for copying shit.
Yeah, you have to have your own unique take.
Cool, man.
Cool. Well,
So no pressure. Just be unique.
Yeah.
just be
unique and practice a lot
and make great shit.
yeah. And there's definitely a factor though with music, like about being loud. So
Yeah, it's
you have
difficult.
to find a space where
Yeah.
you can be comfortable with that, or I don't know. That's the really tough part. But
Are you shy about it, or are you just more like
little.
considerate? You're a considerate person. You don't want to annoy.
considerate. I don't want them to knock on my door and say, "Hey, like, can you like turn it down?" Or "Hey," or shyness being like, "Yeah, hey, like you suck," or "Hey,
Yeah.
like, can you practice at another time?" That's what I mean. You know, God love my brother, but when I would be practicing for Elise, I would be doing the same thing, and I'd fuck up, so I'd start over, and he would just yell like, like stop.
Yeah, the sound of
Because I was
practice
practicing so
is
much.
really annoying to the outsider. Yeah.
I was actually saying this, and then we can wrap it up. But most music that's played is actually like bad music. Most music that's practiced is bad music
Yeah.
because it's practice. It's not, it's scales. It's fuck ups. It's takes and retakes and stuff that never sees the light of day.
It's really, I think that's what probably, it's not just that practice is hard and boring or difficult or all those things. It's the fact that someone along the line is going to say stop or you suck. That's the thing that prevents people from taking their craft to the next level, I think,
Yeah.
with music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it applies to all crafts. If you do shitty drawing, someone's like, that's kind of super discouraging too.
Right.
But yeah, music especially because of the nature of how loud and noisy it can be.
Distribution, I guess. If you distributed that shitty sticker everywhere and everyone was like, oh, this is trash, it's just like blaring, shitty music off of a roof.
Yeah, but you're less likely to hear that this is trash. If you're blasting music
guess
off a roof, you're going to get noise complaints,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just nature of music.
Many analogies.
And it's funny because music is so loved. It soothes our soul. It makes us feel happy, angry, whatever it does to get us through our lives, the soundtrack of our lives and all that. Yes. But the people who bring you that music, they had to practice crazy hours and probably drove a lot of people insane over the course of their life.
They eventually got a nice studio
or they got so good that their practice sounded amazing to the naked ear or the naive ear. Yeah.
One day I can practice and it'll sound beautiful.
Yeah, man. Well, with the piano, you can plug that in too and make that just a MIDI or silent thing too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Show. Sweet.
Yeah,
well,
man.
Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Well, now that you're around, we're gonna be hanging out more.
Yeah,
we're
for
gonna
sure.
I just like to reach out, get the sound of a slap. We'll get it eventually, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
You're always welcome back, man.
Thanks.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.